Everybody get it. About the weekly updates. Give me a second. I'm gonna post it into the main chat. Alright, so here's the weekly update. Um, so once again, what up, what up? Welcome to the BOE weekly update. Give me a second. So we're gonna dive straight into the weekly update. We're gonna go up with the game of the week this week. It's myself, 7-0 Vikings going up against Drake and the 6-1 Seahawks. So we're gonna go straight into last week. Let's see. Let's go with you, Biz. So if we go straight into last week, as you can see, because of the holidays, we had a few games that didn't really get to get played. But we're gonna go straight into this was a sim into this game. Biz and the Carolina Panthers. Philadelphia went into this week feeling comfortable. They went to Carolina and won 17-13. And we have Jacksonville and Tennessee. Tennessee ended up winning that game. This was sim due to holidays. A few games did not play. This game was a defensive game. There's a few complications. I told guys to both bring it to my attention, and I'll take care of it. So that's been digressed. But Poison ended up winning this game 10-3. So it was a defensive battle. The other game of this week that was played was a divisional battle. So you know it's going to be a battle when you have the Redskins and the Cowboys. Both of them have been at the top of the division in the last 2 years, respectively, with the Giants slowly gaining inches on them. It was a very defensive battle. As you can see, Dallas won that game 14-16. I mean, going to this game was just a cakewalk for the Colts, who have now won 23 straight regular season 23 straight regular season games, and they're still undefeated. This game was a battle, and I edged it out last minute. Was able to leave Miami with a 9-6 win. Another defensive game. Defense is a trend this week, as you see. So we're gonna go into week 9. So we have a nice game here with the Chiefs going into the Browns. Should be a defensive battle. Should be a very interesting game. I look forward to that game. Good luck to you, Swing. Good luck to you, Pancho. Next game here is gonna actually be a win for the Cowboys. I'm gonna do that now before I forget, because the Buccaneers guys going through some personal issues now. I know we already had the Jaguar guy who's in the hospital. He doesn't get out until January 20th. The Bucks guy is unfortunately behind bars right now for something, and he's not gonna get out until later on. So I told him I'm gonna keep the team for him, and I'm praying for you, Duke. We're praying for you, D-Mac. Salute to both of you guys. Next up, we have a game of the week here. And Drake 7-1 coming into Minnesota. I mean, he's 6-1 coming into Minnesota, trying to play the 6-0 Vikings, and hopefully I close out this game undefeated. We'll see what happens. Good luck to you, Drake. Should be a battle. I look forward to it. Next game here. I'm gonna do this now so I don't forget. I already spoke on this. So moving on. This game could go either way. Actually, no. Doo-doo's internet's out. Jeez, that's 3 games in Forcing. That must make y'all play the computer. If he did lose to the computer, I'll talk to the admins about it, and we'll discuss that later. This game should be interesting. We have Cowboy Rule going up against Forever. The Raiders is trying to get their groove back, or maybe come into Pittsburgh and get a Steel win. We'll see about that. Because the Steel City shut them down. Who knows? Next, we're going to go into the Monarchies going up against the Bears. Both have been new users incorporated into BOE last season, and they're both slowly getting their, used to BOE, the concepts and everything else like that. This should be a good game. I played Monarchs. I played the Bears last season. It was a good game. Watching it this season was a good game, so I look forward to that game. Get it scheduled, get it played. Good job. Next, we're moving on into Bernalot and Saint. This should be a very interesting game. One that the Cardinals are favored, so you see how it plays out. Good luck to the both of you. Burnout. Good luck to you, Saint. Move on to the next game. This is another could-be sneaker late game that you could watch out for. The Lions have been on a slump this season. They're trying to finally right that ship at home, while the Packers are trying to stay a game behind the Vikings, and they've been red hot all season. So it should be an interesting game, Jeff versus Raw. Good luck to the both of you. Then we have a game right here. Poison's still trying to keep his reign as one of the top 5 teams in the AFC. And Tap Out the Titans are slowly trying to get out of slump. They've been trying to get back into that top 5 in the AFC. Keyword AFC for both of y'all. League-wise, you're both in the top 10, 15. Now I'm messing with you. I got to both coaches. I just want to start John to make that game more fun. Next, we're going to go into the Falcons. We actually have a user who's going to be joining, so you're going to be playing that game shortly. So good luck to you, the new guy. I'm still waiting for him to respond. Hopefully it's a good game. One of you guys stream and see how it goes. What'd you say, baby? Baby. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. So the last game of the week is actually Fan2 and the Broncos going into Dublin and playing the Antlers and seeing how that game goes. Look forward to it. Have fun, guys. Now we're going to dash straight into what we've been waiting for, the very first week of yearly awards. We're going to see who's leading the yearly awards and how everything's going. So let's take a check. Let's take a check into that and see what's going on here in yearly awards. Well, first, who was the weekly award played last week? So last week, the Bears' young quarterback won NFC offensive player with 26 and 36 and 369 passing yards, 3 passing TDs, 6 carries, and 23 rushing yards. So congrats to you, Yoga, for that. On the AFC side, it was BG and Big Ben for 30 for 40, 404, 3 passing TDs, and 18 rushing yards. Big ups to you for that, BG and Big Roethlisberger. On the defensive side for the NFC, it was it came out from Coach Donnell with the safety Thomas with 9 tackles and 2 picks. Good luck, congrats to that for that. And then on the AFC side, it was Pancho and Hicks with 16 tackles. Wow, he was everywhere. 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So good, congratulations to Hicks on that. Now let's go into what we've been waiting for and see who's leading these awards. Like I said, like you guys know my philosophy. Awards don't mean nothing if you can't get a ring. And I've been the unfortunate person who's lost the last 2 Super Bowls. Made it to both the last 2 Super Bowls and lost. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, Keith Marshall is leading the MVP, whereas I only say the top 5. Everything else after, I don't really care. So Keith Marshall is leading right now, number 1 from the Redskins. So good luck with you, Skin. Followed by Big Ben. So good luck to you, BG. Followed by Lamar Miller. So good luck to you, the Sun. And then followed by Blake Butlers. 0-7, but Blake is still in the MVP race. Very interesting. Then we rounded out with the Texans. Once again, another Texan player in here. So the Sun and the Texans, again, they're done. Congrats to you on that. Next, we're going to move over to Coaches of the Year. So as of right now, Coach of the Year leading the way is Flappy Joe. You see the old man really is flappy, but he still brings that intensity and ferocity to the game, and he has his Colts on a regular season streak of 23 straight, trying to get that original Patriot streak in the NFL. Good luck to you guys, and continue the good work out there, Flappy Joe. We're moving on to Jake Morpho from the Redskins. He has his team sitting at 6-2, looking good. Then we have Chris Chan from the Texans. Once again, another player we've been talking about coming up. He's a first year. He took over in the offseason, got hired in the offseason, and as a first-year coach, he has his team sitting at 6-2. So congratulations on that. Mike Zimmer is no stranger to this. He's been doing it for a while. He's sitting at 7-0. Then we have Drake Douglas, who since he's been in the league has been steadily improving year after year, and he's sitting at 6-1. So we're going to dive into the AFC side of the things. Blake Bortles is leading. Wow. Leading at even with an 0-7 record, the voters and the fans are voting for him. He is leading Offensive Player of the Year right now, followed by Lamar Miller, followed by Big Ben again. Then we have Jason Koopman from the Texans, and then Marcus Mariota from the Titans. Next Defensive Player of the Year, we have E.J. Carter from the also undefeated Colts, followed by Ray Maluga from the Jets and Big Arms. We have Mintley Mercer again from the Suns. We have Brandon Drake from the Texans, and we rounded out with Brandon Marshall from Fan2 and the Broncos. Offensive Rookie of the Year, the players leading right now, we have Trent Stoke from the Dolphins. We have Sidney Pounds from the Antlers. We have Austin Whalen from the Ravens. Lamar Beason from the Chiefs, and we rounded off at Barry Mingo from the Patriots. Good luck to you guys on the tallies. They have, like I said, 9 more games to close it out, see what happens. Defensive Rookie leading right now, we have Julius Dunlap from the Patriots. Julius again from Julius Moncrief from the Jets. Then we have a Jaquan Francisco from the Texans, and then Lindsley Cole from the Dolphins, and then we finish it off with Crutchfield, the corner from the Broncos. We're moving on to best quarterback. Copeland's leading the way as a rookie. I believe, no, he's not a rookie. He's a 1-year pro, if I remember correctly. Followed by Roethlisberger, followed by Blake again. Blake is not going down. He's trying to turn the season around. We'll see. Like I said, the coach has been in the hospital, so the team hasn't won a game, but they have not been out of it. Next, we have Marcus Mariota, number 4. And then we have Raymond Gross, the young gun slinger, who everybody's been saying reminds them of Michael Vick in his prime, at number 5. We're moving on to the running back. On the AFC side, our media consultants again an update, so give us a second. Okay, so for media relations, looks like we will be having a coach interview later on today, which probably be rebroadcasted later on. So moving up. Best running back in the AFC side is Lamar Miller, followed by Gio Bernard, Boom Poisons, no stranger to that. Melvin Gordon from the Antlers, Willis Chiz from the Steelers, and Nile Davis from the Colts. Moving on to wide receivers. Bags from the Titans. As you know, the story that this young man took from the draft has been very interesting, and he's been continuing his growth. And we have Will Fuller from the Texans. We have Demaryius Thomas still getting it done from the Broncos. Latavius Bryant getting it down for BG, and Philip the Slut filling up the top 5. Moving on, offensive line. The great Joe Thomas, this ageless wonder, is still leading the pack. It seems year after year he is up there leading number 1. Followed by the other ageless wonder, Marshall Yonder, top offensive lineman. They'll get it done every year. Then we have Kyle Zettler moving on. Then we have one of the younger guns, Carlos Guzman, and then Marquise Ponce running up the top 5. And the defensive line side, Sheldon Richardson is getting it down for the Jets. We have Nasby for the Browns. We have Muhammad Wilkerson, and we all know about that Jets defensive line is ferocious. And then 3rd, we have Jerrigan from the Ravens at 4th, and then we have Joey to the also-awesome Boza at number 5. Next, we're going on to the linebackers on the AFC side. We have E.J. Porter, another young gun from the Colts, sneaking up there in the awards, leading the way. And we have Benedict from the Texans, Whitney from the Texans, Maluga from the Jets, and rounded off with Justin Ageless Houston, still getting it done for the Chiefs. Moving on to defensive backs, Willie Jackson III. This young man has been improving his game in year after year. He's leading the pack right now in the AFC for defensive backs. We have Shane Taylor leading second for him. You have to believe he is a safety, free safety. Now there's controversy in the league going on to this saying, is he just another Sean, another Taylor? Who is he? Where did he come from? And everything else, but some saying let the legend rest. So letting that digress, the young man is playing his game out. Continue to keep on playing the game out. Next, we're going to go with the Broncos and a no-fly zone. Chris Harris at 3rd. Then you have Xavier Rhodes at number 4, and then you have Deontay Johnson from the Titans at number 5. Kickers at players too, so they get rewarded. The best kicker in the AFC so far in your Week 9 update is John Porter leading the way. Then you have Patrick Murray from the Chiefs. You have Charles Bosley from the Steelers. And then you have Dan Carpenter from the Bills. and Steven Hausker from the from the Texans. Sorry about that. So we're gonna keep it at kickers and dive straight to the NFC section of it. So on the NFC side, your best kicker in the NFC is Mr. Ageless. I don't like to miss Dan Bailey, leading the way. Then you have Randy Bullock. Then you have Matt Prater from the Lions. You have Carlton Bart from the Falcons, and then you have Dan Woody, a young guy from the Seahawks. We move on to Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC. The leading MVP of your league so far, Keith Marshall, is leading the way, followed by Aaron, beyond awesome, Rodgers at number 2. Ronnie Hillman, surprisingly, at number 3, getting the work done. Left the Broncos, came to the Big Blue, and just been balling out. Then we have Adrian Peterson, Ageless Wonder, at number 4, and then Zeke the Freak Elliott at number 5. Moving on to defensive players. Packers are in here, like I said, award-wise, they're everywhere. Start off with Mike Daniels leading that defensive line. De'Vara Bowman still came back from injury and is still balling out number 2. You have another Packer, young guy, Grant Tipp, leading number 3. You have Michael Bennett doing his thing from the Seahawks. Then you have Bryson Flanagan. Like I said, the Packers are just in there to win it, and they have been making that top spot in the Vikings, keeping them fighting for it. Moving on to Offensive Rookie of the Year, leading the way, Jarrett Steele from the Seahawks. Then we have Teron Roof from the Cardinals. This is another tough division with the Cardinals and the Seahawks, always going back and forth. The first year the Cardinals took it, last year the Seahawks took it. They've just been flipping. This year right now the Seahawks have a 1-game lead on them. So this should be an interesting division. You can see both rookies are providing great play for both of them already. Next we move down to Marquise Northup from the Falcons. Then we have Javion Chambers from the Cardinals, and then we have Melvin Gallery from the Eagles, one of the top 5. Defensive rookies leading in the NFC side, we have Bryson Flanagan. We saw him up there for Defensive Player of the Year already. The rookie's getting it done, and he's leading the way right now for Defensive Rookie on the NFC side. And we have Lester from the Bucks. And we have Nigel Gross from the Monarchs, all the way out in England, getting it done. Then we have Nolan from the Giants, and then we finish it off with Jose Norman from the Vikings. We're going into quarterbacks. The best quarterbacks in the NFC so far is Eli Manning leading the way. Then we have Aaron Rodgers at number 2. Then we have Matthew Stafford at number 3, Russell Wilson at number 4, and Chandler Rain at number 5. Moving on to running backs leading the league. The MVP leading candidate right now, Keith Marshall at number 1, Ronnie Hillman at number 2, Ezekiel at number 3, Peterson at number 4, and Latavius Murray at number 5. Wide receivers leading the NFC right now is Odell, one hand catch him, Beckham. John, I'm gonna burn you, blaze you out, Brown. Mike, too tall for you, Evans. Laquan Treadmill at number 4, and Devontae Adams at number 5. We're moving on to Offensive Lineman of the Year. We have Tyron, who's just like Joe Thomas and yet Marshall Yonder on the AFC side. Tyron Smith and Zach Martin are always leading this candidacy on the NFC side. We have Tyron Smith leading the way, followed by the young guy Victor from the Vikings. Zach Martin, who we just discussed earlier. Trent Williams, another familiar face here. And then TJ Lang round up the top 5. Defensive line-wise, Mike Daniels is leading the way, followed by Vanilla McPhee, followed by Michael Bennett, Khalil Mack, and then Clay Matthews running out the top 5. Best linebacker is Bowman, he was part of the Defensive Player of the Year awards. Carol Fort from the Giants, Alexandra from the Bucks, McDonald from the Panthers, and then Eric Kendricks from the Vikings. Moving to Defensive Back Players of the Year, Harrison Smith is leading the way, followed by Darren Thompson from the Giants, Ricardo Allen from the Falcons, Patrick Peterson from the Cardinals, and Josh Norman from the Redskins. So that leads out to your yearly awards. Get those games in, schedule your games, contact your opponent. We already know Sims tomorrow, I believe. Sims should be tomorrow. So get it done. Once again, this is your head commish, Mucka Boy Stars away, Forward Stars. If you haven't liked, subscribe, or follow on IG or on YouTube, do so. One love. Deuces.